Welcome to the Small Business Made Simple podcast, brought to you by socialmediaandmarketing.com.au. Being in business is never easy, but it can be simple, or at least simpler. Join me, your host Jen Donovan, every week where we focus on marketing, social media, and working towards simplifying your business. You with me? Let's do this.
Gonna dream it big, 'cause someone out there listening. Everyone's got a voice to give, and it's time I heard you whistling, 'cause there's no point at all, in dreaming small,
Why, hey there, my fabulous listener. Welcome to episode 210 of the Small Business Made Simple podcast. I am going to push your thinking today when it comes to marketing budgets and algorithms. But I do thank you, as always, for lending me your ears today. I know you have lots of choices out there, and I really do appreciate you making my podcast one of. If you're enjoying this podcast, and I'd love for you to take a screenshot and share it on your socials, and of course tag me so I can get to know you a little bit like you are getting to know me week after week on this podcast. Of course, you can find the show notes for this particular podcast episode at all the W's, socialmediaandmarketing.com.au/210, as in 210. But before I get started into today's episode, did you go and listen to episode, or have you listened to episode 209 as yet? If you haven't listened to that one, then head back there and have a listen to all the Small Business Made Simple gold. Of course, finish this episode first and then head back. And back on that episode, I was talking to Russell Pearson about launching. And look, it was one of my favorite episodes. I think he did give absolute gold in that particular episode, and I'm sure that many people took notes, and if you've listened to it, I'm sure you took some notes as well. But let's talk about today's episode, because in today's episode I want to talk to you about paid marketing strategies, but probably more around paying to be found on social media through Facebook ads and maybe Instagram ads and things like that. You see, recently I did a workshop, and at the end of the workshop I had a Q&A section where people could ask me any questions that they wanted to. And one of the questions that's really stuck with me now for a little while was from a lady who basically, her question was, how can I beat the algorithm on Instagram? Now, I think my answer was probably a little bit different to what she thought it was going to be. I think she thought I would come up with some great strategy on how to beat the algorithm, but my answer was actually rather short and blunt. Short and blunt, I should say, because my answer was you can't and you simply shouldn't. If you are producing content for social media with the intention of trying to beat the algorithm, then you, my friend, are probably failing over and over again. And when I say failing, I mean failing to beat the algorithm. Because for most of us, that's just not what happens. For most of us, what actually happens is a small niche amount of people see our content, engage with our content, and of course share and save our content. It's not normally something that we don't normally go viral. Viral is something that people do have happen to them. Absolutely. Some people and some things do go viral, but they are the exception, not the rule. Just like billionaires. Billionaires are the exception, not the rule. And as a small business owner, frankly, you should forget the algorithm exists. Just stop thinking about it. Stop making it design your content as such. There is a sweet spot, of course. If you think of three circles, one circle is content you've got time to create. The next circle is content that you want to create, or that your audience wants you to, and then the third circle, of course, is the content that the algorithm you need to create to feed the algorithm. And somewhere in between, all those three circles is that little tiny sweet spot, which is the content that you should create, of course. But you can't just create content because you want it to go viral, because you want to beat the freaking algorithm. It just doesn't work like that. And let's put on our logical business and marketing hats and talk about why that is the case, why we should forget about the algorithm. And the main reason I think you need to forget about the algorithm is because you are using someone's business, Meta's business, for free, expecting to earn money. You don't want to spend money but you want to earn money on somebody else's platform. A platform that business, Meta, spends millions, perhaps even billions on each year building it, and you want that for free. So you can see logically, it just doesn't make sense. If we're talking about a newspaper or a radio or really any other marketing platform, you can't get that for free. And yet we believe, or probably more truthfully, we have been taught and conditioned to thinking that we can get social media for free because it doesn't cost us anything to download the app and start putting content out there, that therefore we believe it should be for free. And, you know, many of us, it does happen. And realistically, when I say we were taught and conditioned, is because, you know, if you were on social media 10 years ago, that was the way it was. Like, I remember when I used to put up posts for my retail business, I might put up a post like, we're having 20% off sale tomorrow. That sale would be a success. And that's the only marketing I really did, because that's how the algorithm just pushed it out to people that locally that would be interested in that. It just doesn't happen like that anymore. But realistically, many of my leads do come from social media. Many of my clients do come from social media. But I feel that over time, it's a mixture of free and paid and other touch points, of course, as well. It's just, you know, social media isn't the only place that you can find out about me, out about my business and learn to know, like, and trust me. Hence, this podcast is one of those touch points. So my point is, the odds are stacked against you. You are trying to use somebody else's business for free to grow your own business for free. And logically, that just doesn't make sense. Meta, Facebook's parent company, is a business that earns money from their product, and their product, I'm really sorry to tell you, is you. You are the product that Facebook and Instagram are trying to sell. So the more you people, the more yous they can get, the more ad space they can sell, and therefore the more profitable they can be. And the crazy thing is that not only are you the product, but you're also the buyer. So they're trying to sell you to you, which, look, if you think about it too long, you will go absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy to think that you are the product, but you're also the buyer. And I'm not going to get into it too much because this is a clean podcast and I like to click the clean tick whenever I upload a podcast. So I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of swearing like a truckie or a wharfie about Meta, because those who know me well know that I am definitely not a fan of Zuck and all that he possesses. So I'm not going to get into it too much, but you really have to admit that it is crazy to think that you are the product they are trying to sell, but you are also the buyer of that product. So let's flip it. Let's flip it here again without getting into too much more detail there. Let's have a look at your business model. Like, let's really look at your business model again with this hat on of how can I beat the algorithm? If you could, let's just say, beat the algorithm, could your business handle that? Could your business handle your posts going viral? I often laugh at emails and DMs that I get that say things like, you know, let me help you get 300 leads into your business every single day. You know, click here to find out more, or buy this program and we'll teach you how to get 500, 1,000 leads into your business every single day. And to me, I just laugh and I think to myself, that would actually turn me quite insane. If I had 300 leads into my business every day, I would actually be rocking in the corner after day one, because that is not my business model. My business model couldn't handle 300 leads coming into it every single day. Perhaps my other business could, Spend With Us. So my online marketplace that I run with the gorgeous Sarah, www.spendwithus.com.au, just to slip a little ad in there. It could handle 300 leads a day. But my social media and marketing business, because it's a coaching business and I am the coach and I don't hire other coaches, you get me if you pay for me, couldn't handle that. So let's have a look at your business and ask yourself some questions. So again, how much more business can you handle? If you look at your business and think to yourself, how much more business can I handle? Because this is where, when private clients come to me with coaching, this is where we need to start. Because, you know, they're like, oh, I want a marketing strategy and I need to build my business and do this and this and this. It's like, okay, so how much more do you want to work and how much more money do you want to earn? And what are your income streams? Because we need to work out how much you can handle before we go out to the world and gather all these people for you. So first of all, think to yourself, look at your business model and go, how much more work can I handle? Or if you're a new business and you're thinking, Jen, I could handle 99% more work, then ask yourself these two questions. What do you want to earn this year? And or in a year, I should say, not this year because it's perhaps almost finished, but what would you like to earn in a year and how many hours would you like to work each week? Because there is this thing as small business owners that we bought a business so we don't have to work 40 hours a week, 7 days a week. And yet that's the reality as a small business owner. Many of us are doing that, which is very counterintuitive. We might as well go and get a job and probably get paid more and work less. But we are entrepreneurial, we are small business owners, so we think differently. But ask yourself these questions. How much do you want to earn in a year and how many hours do you actually want to work in the week? Because once you know the answers to these questions, then you know around about how much energy and effort and money you need to put into your marketing. And you also know if going viral is really a thing that you should be aiming for, if beating the algorithm is really something that you should be aiming for, or whether it's just a really good vain metric that you would like to have in your belt. You would like to say, I had something that went viral. Totally get that. Had it, feels a bit good, but at the end of the day, does it fit into your business model? And also, let's, I guess, take a step back again when we're looking at, who we are trying to target and whether or not we need more leads. Let's have a look at the data you've got, like your insights and your analytics, and using both of those tools to make good marketing decisions. This is why I love digital marketing so much, is because there is specific insights and specific analytics and data that you can use to tell you when to post, what to post, where to post. Like these things, they're not guessing games when it comes to digital marketing. They might be for a start until you do some test and measure and things like that. I get that. But as business owners that have been in business 6 months, 12 months, you have this data. Are you using this data? Stop trying to beat the algorithm and spend time actually using the algorithm to your advantage, or using your insights and your data to your advantage. So many business owners that I work with have a thing, in inverted commas, for Instagram, and they use that platform the most because that's where they think they need to be. But the reality is, when we look at their data, Instagram brings in very few sales, brings in very few leads, and brings in not much traffic to their website as far as, impressions and that goes. So in essence, they are marketing to the wrong place to get sales. They might be marketing in the fashionable place or in the place they think they have to go in, but their analytics are telling them something different. And we know because we look at the data and we just know that Instagram doesn't stack up. So if you are Instagramming, you need to look at your data. Is Instagram working for you? If you are on Facebook, is that working for you? Email marketing, any sort of digital marketing you're doing, you've got stats to tell you whether or not it's working for you. So let's probably head back to where we started in this episode. And the original intent with this episode was, if you're trying to use social media for free and getting frustrated at your lack of traction, your lack of sales, your lack of leads, then my advice is simple, two-prong. Look at your data, like I just mentioned before, and get some clarity around what's working and what's not working, and set some strategic goals around that, given what you find in that data. And secondly, set aside a marketing budget, some cold, hard cashola that you will actually set aside for a paid marketing strategy. Now, if you're not quite sure, if you've never done Facebook ads or Instagram ads, or if you boost posts, please stop boosting posts before you have a chat to me. They're probably not bringing you in the return on the investment that you deserve. So Instagram, Facebook ads are very different to boosting. So have that discussion, do some research before you boost your next post. But if you wanted some more information around Facebook and Instagram ads, then head back and listen to episode 32 and episode 42 of this podcast. The links, of course, are in the show notes, but they're basically socialmediamarketing.com.au/32 and socialmediamarketing.com.au/42. So to finish off today's episode, and to recap, you can't beat the algorithm. You shouldn't be trying to beat the algorithm, and you should be making decisions based on marketing facts, using digital data, and you should have a paid marketing strategy and be investing money back into your business. For most of you, you are paying probably for a website on a Shopify or a Square or something like that. So you are already investing in your business. So, and yet we have this real pushback of doing digital ads. It's like, oh yeah, but I already pay for all this other stuff, and yet we don't pay for digital ads. We need to change our mindset, especially coming into, probably for you, or probably for a lot of small business owners, the most lucrative time of the year. You're either, e-commerce and you're really building up to big sales, or maybe you're setting yourself up for next year by, getting your services bought and locking people in for 2023. Social media is becoming a pay-to-play place, or really it already is. When you're looking at Facebook and Instagram, it's already pay-to-play. Like really, if you are getting leads, if you are getting traction, if you are getting sales through social media and you aren't paying, give yourself a pat on the back because you are butting the system. Celebrate that. It may not be enough for you. You might want more of that. But if you are using somebody else's business for free and making money, then I think that is definitely something to celebrate. But we do need to stop ignoring the fact that we need a paid marketing strategy. They say actually that your marketing budget should be about 10% of your turnover. So I'd be really interested for you to have a bit of a look at your own marketing budget and say, is that 10% of my turnover? And I did say turnover, not profit. Anyway, I'd love to chat more about this. It's a bit of a complex topic because we see people, or we think we see people beating the algorithm, and we want a slice of that pie. But my question to you today is, do you really want a slice of that pie? So personally, and no offense to the people that do, but dancing and singing and pointing on Instagram so I could go viral just isn't my thing. It would be very unauthentic of me to do. I would rather have my followers that I have now than 50,000 because I was unauthentically dancing and singing. I know people do it. I know that people have built amazing businesses, or seemingly amazing businesses. Because I also think we need to be adult enough to know that what comes out on social media is the highlight reel, not necessarily everything that happens inside a business. So work out what you really want, what your business really needs, and then let's have a chat. Book a discovery call with me. You can get into my calendar and have a look what suits. My calendar is at bit.ly, bit.ly/discover with Jen. Or again, come to the show notes and the links in there, or go to my website and you can book a call through there. And let's get your marketing humming today. Why wait any longer to get this marketing strategy done? And of course, we can look at all these things. How much bigger can you get? How much bigger do you want to get? Otherwise, let's have a chat in my Like-Minded Business Owners Facebook group. If you're not already a member in there, come and join. Otherwise, I will see you next week for episode 211. If we're not social on social, come and find me on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. I'm pretty much Jen Donovan. We're in all those platforms. And one last thing before I go. If you have a subject that you would really like me to cover on this podcast, or a guest you would like me to interview, get in touch. DM me or email me, jen@jendonovan.com.au, because I would love to hear what you would love to hear. But whatever you do, remember, my small business peep, as my opening song says, there is no point in dreaming small.
No time like the present. Tell it like you feel it, say it proud, be true, and let us see you for the star that you are. No point in dreaming small.
I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Yorta Yorta people, on which I record this podcast and conduct my business today, and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. I extend this respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here with us today as well.